We all dream of making big changes in our lives, but sticking to those changes can feel impossible. Why is it so hard to follow through? The answer lies not in motivation or willpower, but in the small, daily actions we repeat. These tiny habits, when practiced consistently, have the power to transform our lives over time. In this video, we'll explore the proven system behind atomic habits, how small changes can lead to remarkable results, how to design your environment for success, and how to make good habits stick. Get ready to discover how you can unlock your potential, one tiny change at a time. Many of us set ambitious goals, hoping for dramatic transformation. Yet we often find ourselves falling short, frustrated by our lack of progress. The problem isn't our desire to improve, it's our approach. Relying on bursts of motivation or sheer willpower rarely leads to lasting change. Instead, the real secret is focusing on the small, consistent actions that become habits. These daily choices, though seemingly insignificant, build up over time and create a powerful compounding effect. By shifting our mindset from big leaps to steady steps, we set ourselves up for sustainable success. Think of your habits like compound interest. Just as money multiplies when invested wisely, the effects of your habits grow as you repeat them. A small change in your daily routine might not seem like much at first, but over months and years, the impact can be enormous. This is the power of atomic habits. Small improvements, repeated consistently, lead to massive positive changes. The key is patience and trust in the process. Even if you don't see immediate results, remember that every small action is building towards something much greater. Secret to extraordinary results isn't radical change, it's focusing on getting just 1% better every day. This approach, known as the aggregation of marginal gains, was famously used by the British cycling team. By improving every aspect of their performance by just 1%, they transformed from underdogs to Olympic champions. The lesson: small, consistent improvements add up to remarkable results over time. Start by identifying one tiny habit you want to improve, and focus on doing it consistently. Over time, these small wins will compound into big changes. For decades, the British cycling team struggled to win. But in 2003, a new performance director, Dave Brailsford, introduced a strategy called the aggregation of marginal gains. By improving everything, nutrition, sleep equipment, even the cleanliness of the team truck, by just 1%, the team saw dramatic results. Within 5 years, they dominated the Olympics, winning 60% of the gold medals in cycling. Their story shows how tiny, consistent changes can lead to extraordinary success. It's a powerful example of the compounding nature of habits. One of the best ways to build momentum with new habits is to track your progress. Using a habit tracker or journal creates visual proof of your efforts and helps you stay motivated. Each checkmark or entry is a small victory, reinforcing your commitment and making it easier to keep going. Over time, seeing your progress builds confidence and encourages you to stick with your habits, even when motivation wanes. Remember, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Track them to see your growth. Your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your behavior. Often, we underestimate how much our surroundings influence our choices. By designing your space to support your desired habits, you make good choices almost effortless. For example, if you want to eat healthier, keep fruits and vegetables visible in your kitchen. If you want to read more, place books in prominent locations. Small changes in your environment can make a big difference in your ability to stick to good habits. We're highly responsive to visual cues in our environment. If you want to build a new habit, make the cues for that habit obvious and easy to see. For example, lay out your workout clothes the night before if you want to exercise in the morning. Move unhealthy snacks out of sight if you want to eat better. By making the cues for your desired habits visible, you increase the likelihood of following through. Small tweaks in your environment can lead to big changes in your behavior. Take a look around your home and workspace. What cues are prompting your current habits, both good and bad? This process, known as a habit audit, helps you identify which environmental factors are supporting or hindering your progress. Once you know what's influencing your behavior, you can make intentional changes. Move distractions out of sight and make the cues for good habits more obvious. By auditing your environment, you set yourself up for success. The easier a habit is to start, the more likely you are to stick with it. Remove friction from your path by preparing in advance. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals ahead of time. If you want to exercise, have your gear ready. The goal is to make good habits the path of least resistance. By simplifying the process, you make it easier to follow through, even when motivation is low. And starting a new habit, make it so easy you can't say no. The 2-minute rule suggests that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more? Start by reading just 1 page. Want to run? Start by putting on your shoes. Once you've started, it's much easier to keep going. The key is to lower the barrier to entry, making it simple to show up and build consistency. One powerful way to make habits more attractive is through temptation bundling. This strategy involves pairing an activity you need to do with one you want to do. For example, only allow yourself to watch your favorite show while exercising, or listen to a podcast while cleaning. By linking a habit you want to build with something you already enjoy, you create a positive association that makes the new habit more appealing. Ronan Bayan, an engineering student, wanted to exercise more but loved watching Netflix. His solution: he rigged his stationary bike so Netflix would only play while he was cycling. This clever use of temptation bundling made exercise more enjoyable and ensured he stuck with his habit. By pairing something you want to do with something you need to do, you can make even the most challenging habits more attractive and sustainable. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. Dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, is released not just when we experience pleasure, but also when we anticipate it. By linking a new habit with an activity you enjoy, you create a powerful neurological hook. This makes the habit more attractive and increases the likelihood that you'll stick with it over time. Use temptation bundling in your own life. Start by making 2 lists, one of habits you need to do and one of activities you enjoy. Look for ways to pair items from each list. For example, only listen to your favorite podcast while at the gym, or only get a treat while catching up on work emails. The key is to find pairings that fit your lifestyle and make good habits more appealing. Finding the right temptation bundles may take some experimentation. Start small, perhaps with just one pairing, and see how it feels. If it doesn't work, try a different combination. The goal is to make good habits something you genuinely look forward to. Over time, you'll discover which pairings are most effective for you, making self-improvement more enjoyable and sustainable. One of the most effective ways to stick to good habits is to make them as easy as possible to start. Reduce the friction associated with your desired behaviors. For example, if you want to eat healthier, prep your meals in advance. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. The easier it is to start, the more likely you are to follow through, even on tough days. Wyla Tharp, a renowned dancer and choreographer, attributes her success to a simple daily habit. Each morning, she wakes up early, puts on her workout clothes, and hails a taxi to the gym. The key isn't the workout itself, it's the act of getting into the cab. By making the start of her habit easy and automatic, she removes mental barriers and ensures consistency. This approach can be applied to any habit you want to build. The first step in building any habit is simply showing up. Don't worry about doing it perfectly, focus on making it easy to start. Once you've mastered the art of showing up, you can gradually increase the difficulty and optimize your performance. Remember, consistency is more important than intensity in the early stages of habit formation. Habit formation takes time, and setbacks are normal. The key is to be patient with yourself and focus on making it as easy as possible to get back on track when you slip up. Remember, it's not about having superhuman willpower, it's about designing your routines and environment so that good habits are the default choice. Trust the process and give yourself grace as you build new habits. You're more likely to repeat actions that make us feel good. By creating immediate rewards for habits that may not have short-term benefits, we can bridge the gap between present effort and future rewards. For example, tracking your progress or rewarding yourself with something enjoyable after completing a habit can make it more satisfying and increase your chances of sticking with it. In Pakistan, researchers struggled to increase hand-washing rates. The breakthrough came when they introduced scented soap, making hand-washing a more enjoyable experience. The immediate reward of clean, fresh-smelling hands made the habit more satisfying, and hand-washing rates soared. This story shows how adding a pleasurable element can make habits stick. Often, the consequences of our habits are delayed, while the costs are immediate. Smoking feels good now but harms you later. Exercise is tough now but pays off in the future. To build lasting habits, we need to add immediate rewards to behaviors that benefit us in the long run. This helps align our present actions with our future goals, making good habits more likely to stick. Most effective rewards reinforce your desired identity. If you're trying to become a writer, reward yourself with a nice pen or notebook. If you're aiming to be more fit, treat yourself to new workout gear. The key is to choose rewards that support your goals, not undermine them. Tracking your habits and celebrating small wins can also provide a satisfying sense of progress. Marking an X on a calendar after completing a habit can be surprisingly motivating. This simple act provides clear evidence of your progress and encourages you to keep the streak alive. Over time, seeing your streak grow becomes its own reward, making it easier to stay consistent and build lasting habits. There will be days when you don't feel like following through with your habits. On those days, remember that showing up is often more important than performance. Even a small action is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Consistency, not perfection, is what leads to lasting change. Even with the best intentions, there will be times when your habits break down. The key to long-term success is not perfection, but the ability to get back on track quickly. When you slip up, don't let it turn into a bigger setback. Focus on recovering as soon as possible and keep moving forward. Jerry Seinfeld, one of the most successful comedians, used a simple strategy to build his writing habit. He marked a big red X on his calendar for every day he wrote new material. Over time, the chain of X's became motivating. His only job was not to break the chain. This approach helps you focus on consistency and makes it easier to recover from setbacks. Perfection isn't possible, but consistency is. If you miss a day, do whatever it takes to get back on track the next day. This simple rule, never miss twice, helps you maintain momentum and prevent small setbacks from turning into big ones. Focus on the overall trend, not individual slip-ups. When you slip up, use it as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself what went wrong. Was it a lack of time, motivation, or an unsupportive environment? By understanding the factors that led to the breakdown, you can adjust your approach and make your habits more resilient in the future. Remember, every setback is a chance to improve your system. It's important to have a plan for getting back on track after a setback. This could be as simple as a rule like, if I miss a workout, I'll do a 10-minute routine the next day. Having a clear, predefined plan reduces the mental friction of restarting your habit and makes it easier to recover quickly. Change is rarely a straight line. There will be ups and downs, good days and bad days. The key is to focus on the overall trend rather than individual data points. As long as you're moving in the right direction over time, you're making progress. Be patient and trust the process. Guilt and shame are not effective motivators for long-term change. When you slip up, treat yourself with compassion, just as you would a friend. Acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move forward. Self-kindness builds resilience and makes it easier to stick with your habits over the long run. The most powerful way to change your habits is to focus on who you want to become, not just what you want to achieve. This approach, known as identity-based habit change, aligns your daily actions with your core values and self-image. When your habits reflect your desired identity, change becomes more natural and lasting. Ben, a struggling college student, dreamed of becoming a writer. For years, he tried various productivity hacks, but nothing stuck. It wasn't until he shifted his focus from writing more to becoming a writer that things changed. He started asking, what would a writer do? And took small actions every day. Over time, these actions compounded, and Ben not only built a writing habit, but also saw himself as a true writer. This story shows the power of aligning habits with identity. To apply identity-based habits, start by deciding the type of person you want to be. What are your core values? What kind of person do you want to become? Once you have a clear vision, ask yourself what actions that person would take. Each small choice is a vote for your new identity, and over time, these votes add up to lasting change. Change doesn't happen overnight. Start with small steps that move you in the right direction. If you want to become a reader, start by reading 1 page a day. If you want to be more environmentally conscious, begin by using a reusable water bottle. Each small action reinforces your new identity and builds momentum for bigger changes. Old habits and self-images can be deeply ingrained, so it's important to celebrate small wins along the way. Each time you make a choice that aligns with your desired identity, acknowledge your progress. These small victories build confidence and help you stay motivated as you work towards bigger goals. Remember, change is a gradual process. You don't have to take on a whole new identity overnight. Focus on consistency rather than perfection. Each small, consistent action is a step towards becoming the person you want to be. Over time, these actions compound into lasting transformation. True change comes not from setting ambitious goals, but from building systems that make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. As James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Focus on building systems that support your desired habits, and success will follow. The key to lasting change lies in the power of tiny, consistent improvements. By focusing on getting just 1% better each day, you set yourself up for long-term success. Small actions, repeated over time, compound into extraordinary results. Trust the process and keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Set yourself up for success by designing your environment and routines to make good habits easy and automatic. Remove obstacles, make cues visible, and reward yourself for progress. The more you can automate your habits, the less willpower you'll need to rely on. Over time, your new behaviors will become second nature. Change doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and persistence, your efforts will pay off. Trust the process, even when progress feels slow. Every small action is building towards a bigger transformation. Stay committed and let your atomic habits compound into remarkable results. The journey to lasting change begins with a single step. Choose one small habit to implement today. Focus on consistency, celebrate your progress, and keep moving forward. Over time, these small actions will add up to extraordinary results. Remember, you have the power to transform your life, one tiny change at a time. Throughout this video, we've explored the transformative power of atomic habits. By focusing on small, consistent actions, designing your environment for success, and aligning your habits with your identity, you can achieve remarkable results. Remember, It's not about radical change or overnight success. It's about showing up, being patient, and trusting the process. Start your atomic habits journey today and become the person you've always wanted to be.